So you guys want to hear something absolutely insane? When I first started offering aligners to my patients, I profited around $8,837 a month in just 6 months exclusively doing aligners. This is a graph showing you exactly how much I was producing at that time. And these are the case starts that I had as well. I started over 50 cases in just 6 months. And I'm showing you all of this to show you that it actually works. That highlighted line that you see there is how much we were producing, and I get paid about 30% of what I produce. And so that's what the red graph there is showing you over to the right. Now, if I could do this, so can you. But it always wasn't like this. When I started, I didn't know how to do aligners, let alone how to do it profitably. I was always struggling to figure out the best use of my time. And I wanted to know how to do this procedure so that I could help the most patients while making the most money and spending the least amount of time in the chair. Now, I spent over 1,000 hours, tried several strategies, and watched countless webinars. I found out more ways on how to lose money when doing aligners before I figured out how to actually make money with aligners. And I'm gonna save you the thousands of hours and battle scars and just tell you how to do aligners profitably. You need to understand and implement what I call the profitable protocol, and I will walk you through exactly how to do that. So this is what I call the profitable protocol. So this protocol consists of 3 simple components: the 6 in, 6 out strategy, easy start method, and the team treat approach. Before we go forward, just know this training is applicable to all brands. So if you're using Invisalign, SureSmile, ClearCorrect, Candid, Spark, OrthoFX, it doesn't matter. Take these principles and apply them. I did it that way so that way anybody can benefit from this. So how can you offer aligners profitably? This is a breakdown of what the profitable protocol looks like in terms of chair time and revenue. So let's do some quick math here so that way you can get an idea of how much you can make per chair time. So traditional ortho takes a lot of visits and it's a lot of chair time. This is why your ortho offices look very different from GP offices. Orthodontists usually have about 10 to 20 bays. They're in and out of each one, just spending a couple minutes with each patient, and they really rely on their team to have an active role. Now, with aligners, it can be a bit different, but you definitely can do it out of a 2-op practice and still do very well. So let's get into some numbers here. Each case is around $5,500, and the lab bill also on average about $1,500. So that's around $4,000 profit per case. Now, for the appointments, cases that you should be treating should take around 20 trays, and you can expect about 1 round of refinements. Now, let's run this scenario from start to finish. If you're doing aligners correctly, you are closing cases in the hygiene chair. So you're either seeing them in a new patient exam or in a recare exam. This does not count against your doctor chair time. And the visits for aligner therapy are gonna look like this. The initial visit is 90 minutes. The patient gets all their trays, right? Then they're gonna have a 30-minute IPR or checkup appointment about 6 to 8 weeks later. Then another 15-minute checkup appointment, another 6 to 8 weeks later. A final eval for about 15 minutes with a scan for refinement if they need it. And a 60-minute appointment to deliver refinement trays and add new attachments. Then the final eval for 30 minutes, scan for retainers, remove the attachments, and then a 15-minute retainer delivery appointment. So total time is about 4 hours and 15 minutes. So you're looking at around $941 an hour of chair time profit. Not to mention your physical labor during this at most is what? Polishing attachments and polishing between teeth, doing some IPR, and maybe bonding composite. It's nothing, right? So from a profitability standpoint, this is a no-brainer. Of course, you can streamline this even more by leveraging home monitoring and only having the patient come in for initial delivery, IPR, and final eval. So even if you're just sticking to this schedule that I mentioned, you can be extremely profitable when it comes to chair time and production. And the way to have this nice downstream effect is to follow the 6 in, 6 out strategy. This is where you only treat cases that can be done in around 6 months. And now this helps optimize cases to stay in the green in regards to chair time profitability. And they're also more predictable, and you're gonna get higher compliance, and the patients are gonna get better results. And I say this because I've been stuck with cases that were longer, and it wasn't fun for anybody, and almost none of the patients were happy after. So this is a case that I took on, and it took so much time, and I lost money on it, and the patient themselves were not happy, right? I didn't follow that 6 in, 6 out strategy, and I paid the price. Now, if you were to follow the 6 in, 6 out strategy, these are the types of cases that you want to take on. So the first thing to consider is to classify the patient's molar relationship and occlusion. The 2 types of cases you want to treat are going to be class 1, class 2 adults with some type of misalignment in the anterior. The next thing that you want to look at are the position of the rest of the teeth, and then classify it as either a spacing or crowding or a combo case. And when you're starting out, it's great to take on mild and moderate spacing cases, as well as mild to moderate crowding cases. cases. And the cases that have crowding and spacing in both arches are going to be very, very simple and straightforward to treat for the most part. But if they have one arch with spacing or one arch with crowding, it can be a little bit trickier in how you set those up. I also recommend that you treat cases with less than 4 millimeters of a deep bite, right? Because if it has more than 4 millimeters, it's going to be challenging because mandibular anterior intrusion is the primary movement that solves for this, and it is the most difficult movement to do with aligners. You can also treat minor anterior cross bites, and you can treat anterior open bites. These are really good to treat with aligners. You're going to use a controlled movement, which is extrusion, away from the gums to really close out that open bite. So this is Dr. Kevin Chang, and he enrolled in the program, and he used a 6 in 6 out strategy, and this is what he has to say about aligners now. I get so excited about it every time I get a patient to sign up, and it's all about case selection. As soon as I can see a case that I can do and the patient can benefit from it, I can't stop talking about it. Now, the biggest thing that has been shown is that compliance drops significantly after this 6 to 8 month period. And when compliance drops, the teeth don't end up where they're supposed to be, right? The patient's unhappy. They say the treatment doesn't work. They get upset. They leave a bad review. You get sad. You feel responsible, but it wasn't your fault. They didn't wear the trays. That's why it didn't work. However, if you follow the 6 in 6 out strategy to begin with, you would have avoided the situation altogether. So the next aspect of the profitable protocol is what I like to call the easy start method. And what it is it's meant to boost case acceptance to capitalize on those same day case starts by decreasing the upfront financial friction. I came up with this method after being told by so many patients that they just couldn't afford this treatment. Yet most of them had nice cars, went on vacation, had iPhones, and a bunch of other things that they paid several thousands of dollars for. So why is that? Well, I was making the mistake that most docs make. We want all the money up front, right? Or at least enough to cover the lab bill. So the problem is that's a couple $1,000s. And you're asking for someone to pay for that on the spot right then and there. And so people have that money, but not everybody wants to just spend it immediately. Ask yourself, when's the last time that you dropped over $5,000 on the spot for something? Probably been a while, right? Or you probably had to think about it. And so when I stopped asking for all the money up front and started using the easy start method, the financial friction to get going with treatment was removed and case acceptance started to skyrocket. This is where having flexible financial easy payment options is key. Everyone is conditioned to subscriptions these days. Netflix, iPhones, online shopping, travel agencies. So why should aligners be any different? So I'm going to walk you through how to use the easy start method, okay? Let's take a look at the situation first to get some perspective. The dental office is very stressful, right? So thinking about money is also stressful. And what I'm proposing is you separate the two events. Take $250 down to allow for you to start working on the case and to get financial buy-in from the patient. You would also show them the total amount and their payment options. And now you have to remember that there's two decisions that they have to make, and they don't need to make them at the same time. They need to decide, do they need the treatment, right? And then they need to decide, how are they going to pay for it? They already know that they need the treatment, and that's why they put the $250 down to seal that. Now they have a month to decide which option they're going to go with from a financial standpoint to pay for the treatment. This actually gives them time to move things around financially and plan for it and talk to their spouse because they know that they're doing the treatment. And so when they have these conversations with their spouse, it's through the lens of, hey, I need this treatment. How can we make this work financially? You got to remember, you are helping them move forward to a healthier mouth, and you're saving them money in the long term because when their teeth are in a healthier position, that's less dental problems and treatments that they have to pay for in the future. Don't forget that. This is Dr. Bethany, and I shared the Easy Start method with her, and this is what she had to say. Easy Start method is genius. Patients are way more willing to start treatment the same day, and we have seen a boost in case acceptance ever since we started implementing it. Now, the third and most important aspect of the profitable protocol is the team treat approach. When I first started out with aligners, I was a man on a mission, guys. I started out and my team was not really jumping at the bit to get this going, right? It was just me. I was the one that was super excited, and they were kind of like, let's just keep doing things the way that we're used to. I'm sure you can relate, right? Like anytime you bring a new idea to the office, people aren't really that excited. Well, I refused to let them bring me down. So I did everything myself. And this was great because I was able to have success since I was doing every single step and I could do it to my best ability. But this was bad because it was by no means sustainable sustainable or scalable, and it actually led me to burn out very quickly. And I remember the day it happened too. We had a full column of patients and I was just humming. I was buzzing around. Me and my assistant were running 3 chairs. I was in multiple places at once. I felt like a superhuman. But while I was bouncing between chairs and talking to patients about treatment and actually doing the treatment, I walked into one op and I started talking to the patient about how we could improve their teeth with aligners. And she just looked at me and she said, "You already talked to me about this." And I said I was interested, and nobody has talked to me about pricing yet. And I've been here for over an hour, but you don't seem to remember me either or what we discussed. And I can tell this place seems super chaotic. I don't feel comfortable here. I think I'm gonna go get treatment somewhere else. So she got up and left. This was the biggest wake-up call for me. I had done everything right. My patient wanted the treatment. And because I didn't take the time to get my team on board and thought that I needed to do it all, I lost the patient for good. So I took the weekend to just think about how could I improve and change things. And this is where I realized if I create a system where I can map out all the roles, responsibilities, and tasks, then teach my team how to do just one part of the system, this would be so much easier. And that's what I did. I went in that week, I took the time to sit down and figure out the pain points with the team members that was preventing them from getting on board, and then found solutions to alleviate their problems. Once they saw that I cared about their situations, the vibe completely changed. They were all hands on deck, ready to help and do their part in offering aligners to our patients. And it's been the best way for us to scale the practice, and it makes it so much easier to do. So I hope you found this video valuable, and I wanted to let you know that I'm the founder of Clear Aligner Advisor, which is an online clear aligner education platform that has successfully helped over 150 dentists integrate aligners into their practice. And they have gone on to generate over $9 million in revenue from aligners alone. We help these docs through one of our 2 paid training programs, Aligner Blueprint, which is our core curriculum online program, and Aligner Launchpad, which is our comprehensive program with unparalleled levels of support while starting and growing practices for dentists. All of the course details and information are at this website, clearalineradvisor.co. We also have a couple free training programs that you can dive into that are on the website if you're not ready to invest in education yet. I hope you got a couple pearls out of here, and if you're not following me already, go over to Instagram and follow me. I post almost every single day and I'm sharing clear aligner content all the time. Also, subscribe to the channel because you know this video was super valuable, and if you want more, there's more where that came from. So go ahead and do that. Now, if you thought this was remotely helpful, I actually go way deeper on how to offer aligners in a profitable way, and you're really gonna like this video. So go check it out and I'll see you there.